If you were to advise a brand new agent just getting in the business, what would you tell them to do first?
I would tell a new agent that, they've picked an incredible industry to be in because you can truly do whatever fits you best in real estate, whether it's doing REO or it's doing new construction or focusing on investors or focusing on first-time home buyers or focusing on move-up buyers, being the neighborhood expert, being the, expired cold calling expert, working a specific niche, working your PTA, your country club, whatever you choose as a business model, study someone who's very successful at it. There's people in very specific niches who only do a 1 mile radius and have a phenomenal multi-million dollar business. So before you even decide that REO is that niche, sit down and figure out who you are, what behavior patterns and lifestyle patterns make you the happiest. So if you're not confrontational and you don't like rejection, don't cold call. Go for a referral business where you're high touch, high interaction. If you don't like being spread out, maybe don't do REO because you end up normally covering a large geographic territory. But I think you just need to have an honest self-discovery conversation with yourself, figure out what makes you tick, and go find, before you go build that model, go find. I would advise any new agent to go join a team doing what you think is going, because then you can get inside the machine, see how a machine really works. And in my study of top agents and travel around the country, almost every top agent I know started on a large team. And I really think that goes back to mindset, because no one told them no and they thought it was completely normal. They went out and did the same. I think most of the folks on my team have never worked in real estate. And to them, selling 50 houses a month is completely normal, and they just think it's weird that people only sell 2 or 3. So, and I'm not being facetious about that. That's what their mindset is. And, I tell my folks, the greatest compliment you can give me is one day go out and build a great business yourself. I don't expect anyone to, live and die next to me. But I really think that, that's one of the key denominators I've seen in a lot of top agents is they worked for another top agent, and those large models and mindset just were normal to them, and they didn't expect anything different. One of my first mentors was asked, he's like, how did Leo go and sell, 15 homes in 3 months? And he said, because I didn't tell him he couldn't do it.
I guess there's a couple of things just to do a quick recap, and this is the most important things, and this is what changed my life and changed my viewpoints and changed everything. And it's extremely simple, and if you follow this, you will succeed, and you're going to be one of only 3% of the entire United States that will do this. Write your goals down. Be specific with them. Come up with a game plan. I don't care if it's doing 2 deals a year. Figure out how you're going to do it. Put it on paper. Work your process. I have mine right in front of me. I have a 5-year plan where I want to go with my 8x8 and 33 touch alone. Then I have our online, I have our door knocking, I have our mailing, other cards, and I have exactly how I want to break it down. It's realistic, and it's something that we can build to. So put that down. Also, write down your goals, personal and professional, like Chris was talking about. I want to know your 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, and then goals. And I want photos associated with those for your dreams and goals. I have my cars that I want, I have my boats that I want, I have my house, and I have my dog. These are the things that I want. I have them in full color. They're on my wall. I see them. I can't help but look at them every day, because the power of visualization, you will achieve where you want to go. Also, work your marketplace. Identify the areas you're going to work in. Look at your turnover rates. Figure out where you are best going to fit to start or restart your business in the marketplaces that you're going to be in. If one area that you worked for a number of years has cooled down, switch your market. Change where you work, but get where the sales are. Otherwise, you will not see success. Lastly, get a coach, guys and gals who are hearing this. Get a coach that works with you. Read Dean Tracy's books. I mean, you can do anything you want, but find something that's going to keep you on target and on track, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. After that, practice your trade. Consistently and persistently practice your trade. Read your housing supply reviews. Read different statistical information so that when people ask you stuff, you don't sound like a bumbling idiot. You know the numbers, you stand firm on your numbers, and you move forward on your numbers.
If I was a brand new agent right now and I was getting into business, what I would do as a new agent is I'd seek out the best agent, and not just a mediocre agent. I'd want to seek out the best. I mean, and if that's what their goal is, to be the best or to do really, really well, they have to take as a new agent, if I can go back in time, I would take my career and I'd pretty much, what I always say, boost it onto steroids and go, I'm not going to just try to go to the training classes and do this, this, and this. I'm going to talk to the best agent, and I'm going to take him out to coffee, and I'm going to learn and see what he does. If you're the big franchise, I'd say, you know what, I'm going to find out what other big agents are within my franchise throughout the nation, and I'm going to seek them out, and maybe I'm going to take a trip out and go meet them. Or maybe I'll start within my office and do a couple of deals and then go out and start, saying, hey, I really want to visit Texas. Who in my franchise is in Texas that does over this amount of volume? And every month or every 3 months or once a quarter, your goal is to go out and meet someone who's doing better than you and take their advice, but then also apply it. And that's what I would do if I was a brand new agent, because I didn't do that in the beginning. And I didn't ask, and most people are willing to share. I mean, I'm a big sharer. If somebody called me and asked me a question, I'd be more than willing to help them out, go out to lunch or coffee with someone, if it fits within my schedule. I'd give anyone questions or answers or challenges or help. That's just who I am, and I think give it out in slices. It comes back in loaves. And if I was a brand new agent getting in, that's what I would be doing. I would be really seeking out the better agents and finding out what they do and what advice they have, and take that knowledge and apply it. If they say go do an open house, you don't have any clients, go do an open house for 10 days, and you need to do 10 open houses in the next 30 days. I would go do 10 open houses in the next 30 days, and if it didn't work, go back to them and go, it didn't work. So obviously I didn't set it up right, or you don't know what you're talking about, which they probably do. But I would do what they tell me to. I wouldn't go do one open house. I'm like, oh, this sucks, man. Nobody came in. If they said go do 10, go do 10. I would do what a better agent says to do. So I'd seek some of the best people out.
I would say, of course, start with your sphere, like everybody else says. Start with your contacts, and then start working. Get ready to give up every single weekend. You have to do that. You're going to do that for 3 to 5 years. And make a budget. Because if you're financially tied down or financially strained, people are going to see that. And that's one thing I would recommend an agent to do, is just put some time into it, put your database together, and get to work.
Learn the market. Study and learn the market, and get on the phones. Just getting out and previewing as many properties as you can, and then also doing open houses. I think those are open houses. I still do open houses till this day. They've been a huge source of business for me. And I have a very specific system for doing those open houses. Like I said, it's 15 signs. It's putting up a sign rider on Friday afternoon before the open house that says open Sunday 1 to 4 p.m. It's advertising on the internet, getting out and previewing 10 homes in that neighborhood so that I know what all the competition looks like, so that I can share with people what else is for sale in that particular area. I know the market well. I've got statistics on the market. I have an open house book that I utilize. It has a survey in it for those buyers that walk in the door, asking them about what they're looking for, what they think of that particular property, and if I can help them. My goal is to convert them from just a buyer looking around to a client. So as a new agent, study, learn, and know your market better than anybody else, and get on the phones and start doing open houses.
Well, maybe I should share the 3 points of advice that I had. Someone told me, my very good friend, told me to put my picture on everything, so my name with the name with the face. They told me actually listen to tapes, so I'm going to tell them to listen to your tapes of top producing agents, because there's a reason why they got there. There's a pattern of success that they So they need to, even if some of it doesn't like fit their bill, they need to at least listen and pull out pointers from each of these top producers that you are interviewing, because they've done something right and they've lived before them. So, pick and choose what it is and really, implement it. And just work really hard, work every day at it. Be consistent. It didn't happen overnight for me. It happened working every single day, every single week, every single month, and then every single year. And now it's created this huge momentum that can't be stopped. And it's like throwing pebbles at an army tank. My competitors really, no matter how hard they try, they're really not, it's going to be hard for them to ever catch us, because we've just done it year after year after year, and we've built such a wonderful foundation. I would highly recommend that you know who you are and what you stand for. We know, like I personally know my own core values and my belief system, and the people that I hire also have those core values. So I think it's whether you're a one-man show or you have a small team or a large team, I think the rainmaker or the leader truly has to know and be able to articulate who that person is and what it is that they're trying to accomplish, and their vision and their mission. And you stick to that, and you take money out of the equation when you make decisions, and you're always going to make the right decision. And sometimes it means, having to do something for free. But you do the right thing, and the right thing always, it comes back to you. So another piece of advice, I would say, to be humble. Regardless of your success or how many houses you sell or however big you get or whatever, if you're known in your town or whatever, just to remain humble and know where you came from and to be appreciative and grateful. And you're going to go much, much further.
Prospect. Get in front of your sphere of influence, get in front of lenders and title companies, and in front of people that are buying and selling real estate. It's when I first got into business, my broker told me the more contacts, the more contracts. And it's so true. The more people that you're getting in front of every single day is very important, because it's a contact game. You have to be in front of people, and if you're just sitting in your office coming up with a nice brochure, you're not in front of people. You need to be out in front of people.
Get some sales training. I think one of the big things in real estate is that we lack sales training. We're taught how to write a contract, or we're taught about meets and bounds and some things that we need and some things that we don't. But there's no direct sales training that we're given as agents. So I would tell them to invest in some type of sales training, whether it be with a brokerage or with some separate curriculum somewhere, but to get specific sales training so that they don't pick up bad habits and they start their business the right way. And if you can afford it, pick up a coach also. Because my recent business is so REO focused, we haven't discussed the importance of listing presentations or canned scripts, but I am very big on being prepared when you go out on your presentations, whether it's a buyer presentation or a listing presentation, and really rehearsing what you're going to say. I think so many times as agents we go out and we try to just fumble through it, and that's exactly what happens. We fumble through it. And if we're lucky, we get the listing at the end because maybe we hit it off somehow with the buyer or seller. But really we need to be more focused on having a CAM presentation and knowing that backward and forward, and really just presenting a professional appearance and attitude as real estate agents. I hear that in Arizona all the time. Well, it's hot here, so we can't dress professionally. But you would be surprised. The impression, obviously, that you make on someone, the first impression, is the most important impression. So I think if we go in with a strong presentation and a professional appearance, that we automatically just propelled ourselves so much further ahead from our competition just by doing those simple things. Just keep a strong mindset, because at the end of the day, you have to be your biggest cheerleader. You have to be the person that picks yourself back up, whether it's after, a bad phone call or a bad day or a bad transaction, whatever it may be. A mindset will get you extremely far in this business and in life for that matter. So as long as you have a really strong and positive mindset constantly, good things will come and success will happen.
The one thing is you've got to remember, you're here to facilitate a transaction. You need to treat everybody better than you treat yourself. If you become a great co-op agent, people like doing business with you. You have no idea the rewards that'll pay. Second, most people that you're going to deal with, their primary home is the number one significant investment they're going to make in their life. Let me tell you this. Why don't you live a little under your means with your own personal house and go buy an apartment building? Don't let your personal residence be the most expensive thing you own. Buy a commercial building. Buy a acreage. Buy something significant and watch the returns years from now. As a new agent, I want you to focus in on one thing. Until you can create your own business, you're not going to make it in this business. Press the flesh. So many people want to do business on Facebook or LinkedIn. You'd be shocked at what happens when you actually show up and introduce yourself to somebody. Somebody goes, "Oh, hey, aren't you my Facebook friend?" You say, "No, I'm here right now. I'm your real friend." Always promote the listings the best you can. Get the room measurements in there. Never do sloppy work or take a shortcut, because that's a reflection on you. And I'm living proof. If you set your mind and focus in on a goal, it will become real.
Run fast. No, the truth is, this is a great time to get in the business. I think that there's been weeded out as to the people that were just the players that were just in the game for the short run are all gone, and the people that are left are quality business people. So the first thing that I would advise is 88% of your buyers are on the internet. Immediately arm yourself. Understand technology. Understand DocuSign. Understand websites. Get yourself a really good web presence. Start marketing yourself as an expert, because you really are an expert, because you've got IDX and all of the listings displaying on your site. Once you get a website, go out there and talk to other agents in your office. Because if you remember, if I listed your house today, Mike, it's not Rob Levy listing your house. It's Prudential Northwest Properties is listing your house. So I could go to other agents in my office and say, "Do you mind if I put your listing on my website?" So all of a sudden you've got some inventory on your website. Start doing open houses to pick up buyers. Start getting your name out there in various places. Stay away from the print advertising. That's my personal opinion. And you'll do fine. But I think the key there is understanding and being able to use technology. I don't consider myself a hugely smart person. I didn't go to college. But I can learn from what other people are doing and adapt and use that myself. And just like some people from this call are going to take some of the things I just talked about and apply that to their market, I do the same when I listen to your interviews with other people. And I say, what a great idea. How can I apply that to my market? And by the way, you talked about the new agent. I think that's a differentiator between successful agents and non-successful agents. Some say, that'll never work in my market. And I think the successful agents say, how could that work in my market? And that's the difference right there.
You need to get your feet wet. You need to get practice at doing deals. My suggestion would be to go work for a successful agent in a large brokerage or a small brokerage and learn from them. I mean, understand that you're competing. In an average year, I'm going to do 300 transactions. Most agents don't do 300 transactions in their career. So you just got to get out there and step up to the plate. Step up to the plate as often as you can and work with an experienced agent also. I wish that anyone who's listening to this all the success in the world in this business. I enjoy it, and there's a lot out there to be learned, and there's certainly opportunities for new people to join the field and be successful, and I wish them all the best.
I would tell them to go into their area and make it seem as though they run the show. For instance, start advertising, start marketing, start making themselves be seen, because when people see you, they think that you're doing business, even if you're not. So if they see you on the buses or in the magazines or in the newspaper and all over the internet, they're going to assume that you know what you're doing. They definitely need to do open houses and make sure that they really know what's happening in the area around the open houses. I never farmed, and I would definitely farm one specific area and make myself be seen and send out mailers and make it seem as though I own that neighborhood. I think that would really help a new agent. I just think people need to be reminded that you really want to own your business and care about it. And, money isn't everything. If you do a great job and you have passion about what you do and you care, you're going to do well. You got to put the time in. Put the time in the beginning so that you don't have to do so much in the end. I work less now because I put so much time in the beginning. And just be good to people. Do what's right, and I really believe that. Do what's right and have a good heart and care about people, and they care back, and it all comes back to you. And do a lot of education.